Shalom family. For those of you who have been following us on 12 Tribes Network, you know that we have some projects in the works as it relates to our children's book project. Now, I wanted to share this moment with you. It's been a long time coming, but some of our books have finally come. And I wanted to go ahead and open them up while I am here on camera. Now I do know one of these books was something else that I ordered, so I'm going to bypass that one. I do have another one coming too, and I kind of wonder if it's out on the porch. I haven't checked the mail today, but I'm going to go ahead and open these up and share them with you. We had a number of projects that we were working on. We still have a lot more. These things take time. It would be a lot easier if I had others that could edit and design and do things of that nature, but you do what you have to. This time I know how to open these boxes. There's no need to tear up perfectly good boxes in doing this. Okay. The first one, here we have, is this one. What we did was we revamped another book that we had. We redesigned it and we added some Hebrew content to it as well to make it more interesting and to add some of our cultural material to the books. I have two of them here, so I only need to deal with one of them. Okay, get that paper out. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, here's the book right here. That's the first one. Okay, this book is what every child should know for preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. This is one of the books that is a part of our 12 Tribes Network children's learning educational books. Okay, there we go. What every child should know for preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. So much good information in here. I've been using these books for quite some time now. We actually designed these years ago, but we were just printing them directly from our computer and giving them to the children. But I decided to go ahead and have a hard copy of the book made. But one thing that we did add, instead of just a regular alphabet, we also added the Paleo Hebrew alphabet as well, the Paleo Hebrew alphabet, and we also added the 12 tribes of Israel, for instance, here's a good example. Okay, the sons of Jacob Yisrael, practice writing the information for knowledge. Naphtali, and then it gives you the Hebrew spelling. Then it tells you that he was the sixth born son, and it tells you that Bilhah is his mother. Okay, and so basically this puts the information in the child's head, and they can also write it here just for remembrance, for the sake of remembering. And the information is right there as well. Okay. And then at the end, we also have the Hebrew terms for kinship. Okay. We have space here for learning what various kinship words are. For instance, family is Mispacha, dad is Abba, mom is Ima, and so on and so on. Okay, and then we have some additional worksheets on the last pages. I'll give you an example. Ima equals mom, right? The directions: use the lines below to write sentences using the Hebrew term for the above word. An example has been done for you. Now the example sentence is, my Ima is very nice. And so the student has to write 5 sentences using the word Ima. Okay? And also Abba equals dad. They have to do the same thing. My Abba loves reading. And so the student has to write 5 sentences using the word Abba. And so that is what we added to our already power-packed book for preschool through first grade. We've added a lot of great information to the end for those who wanted to learn the Hebrew alphabet. Of course, you have just your regular alphabets and pictures and practice writing and things of that nature. But these workbooks will keep your preschooler, kindergartner, and first grader busy for a long time. We've covered everything that the child should know from preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. That includes alphabets, numbers, colors and shapes, money identification, mathematics, phonics, spelling words, families, simple punctuation and capitalization, telling time, and more. Okay, which includes the Hebrew information as well. So that is the first book. Okay, so let me open up another one. I'm so happy the children were excited because they've seen me working on these, and so they were anxious to get actual books. There's one thing when you print out papers from the printer over there, but to actually have a book, Aliyah likes to tote her little book around sometimes. So she was really happy that that we excuse me, were doing these. Okay, that's that other book I was telling you about. Let me see. I wish one of the children were nearby. I would tell them to go check the porch because I believe one of the other ones are here too. Okay, I see that I see what they did. They actually crammed more than one book in a box. So I was saying to myself, it doesn't seem to be enough here. But I see what they did, which is perfectly fine. They crammed more than one in a box. Okay. So this is the other book that isn't mine, but it was someone else's that I was ordering. I was ordering some information that they had that I was interested in. Okay. So here we have it. This one right here is counting money for grades 3 through 4, 3rd and 4th grade. Counting money. This one is very, very fun. This is a fun book to work from. The children love these types of assignments. There's 76 pages in this book. And counting money becomes fun with the way we formatted everything. You have breaking down money, counting money, identifying money, all kinds of good information in this book here for students. Okay. I'm just going to read our little information page here. It says, in this publication you will find multiple kinds of worksheets designed to teach students how to count money. This is a very important lesson for anyone, especially if you plan to own your own business. Business ownership requires a lot of patience and skill, and this is what our lessons will provide for participants. So it teaches them all of the denominations of the dollar, okay? In which we know the dollar is about to crash, but since we're still dealing with the dollar right now, our children need to learn how to count and break down money. Again, this is for 3rd and 4th grade. So the math that you're going to encounter in this book is going to be for those grades. Okay. I've shared some of the pages on Facebook before, so you can kind of get an idea of what the worksheets are like. This is it here. Okay, that's one type of assignment there. We go further in where the assignment kind of changes a bit. Various different kinds of assignments dealing with counting and breaking down money. Okay. Right? And then there are even math story problems. Okay, I'll give you an example of some of the math story problems that you're going to encounter. Let's start at the very first page. They get harder as the pages go on, so I'll start at the first one. It says, if a business collects 50 $1 bills, 31 $5 bills, 68 $10 bills, 97 $20 bills, and 98 $100 bills in 1 hour, what would be the dollar amount of the cash collected in 2 hours? Now this is somewhat of a brain teaser. I would consider this advanced math because a lot of schools don't teach math to third and fourth graders on this level. You have some that may, but most of them don't. Okay, this basically involves adding and multiplying, and and we're dealing with large denominations when you're saying $51 bills, 31 $5 bills. They have to multiply and add. Once they multiply the bills, they then have to add the totals. So you're dealing with multiple operations here. It basically tells you to read the math problem below, use the correct mathematical operation to solve the problem. A grid graph has been provided for you to show your work. So again, these are some of the example assignments. I wouldn't want anyone to be intimidated by this, because you'd be surprised. This actually causes students to think more. It gives them something to really work and exercise their brains, rather than just keeping it too simple for them. Now, some of you may want to utilize these for 5th or 6th graders, depending where your children are, but we consider this to be more advanced math above what they teach in the public school. Okay, now these are some other samples of the kind of worksheets that you'll encounter in this Counting Money book as well. It says, write the number in the box below in expanded form using the graph space provided. And all you're going to do is break down the numbers. If you have 265,749, you're just going to break that down in the way that it should be broken down. Okay? The number that you're going to be breaking down is actually larger, is in this box here. So you're going to break down the number in the box there. What you see underneath is simply an example. Okay, the example is mirrored on all the pages, but the number that the student's actually going to break down is in the box. Okay, again, these things are meant to cause them to think, and after a while it becomes very fun to them. Okay, now this last assignment, it says, write the number below in word form, then use the graph space provided to divide the number in half. That was just thrown in there so that once they've written it in word form, now they have to divide it up the middle. And a 3rd and 4th grader should be able to do this. They should be able to divide these numbers in half. Okay, and so the example shows 253,853. Now the student has to write that in word form, 253,853. Okay, writing it in word form. The number in the box here is what they're going to be working with, but the example shows what they're going to be doing. And then that number has to be divided in half. Okay. Alrighty. So that's this one. The next one is spelling word mastery. Spelling word mastery. Okay. This one is 90 pages. Alright. This is another one of the books in our series. I thank Abiyah for allowing us to put these together. But spelling word mastery is of the sort. You start with a group of words, okay? I'll give you an example. For lesson 1, okay? Lesson 1 is all divided up into lessons, by the way. For lesson 1, the students are going to be given a series of words. The word is here and the definition is there. Once they familiarize themselves with the definition, that's when the other assignments begin. It says, study the spelling and definition for the following word list. Okay, once they study this, then they can complete the rest of the assignments. Okay, beep, a sound, to sound a horn. Okay, jeep, a small general purpose motor vehicle. Okay, and so on and so on. So the next assignment is, find the definitions for the spelling words listed above. Put the words on the lines next to the correct definition. Okay, parents may want to tear the worksheets out, since these are workbooks. They're going to be working from these, or tear this page out that has the definitions on them so that the student can complete all of lesson 1. Okay, lesson 1 has a number of different assignments that the student is going to do to master the spelling words. Okay, again, find the definition for the spelling word listed above. Put the words on the line next to the correct definition. Number 1, to peer slyly through a crevice. Peep. Okay. Reaching far down from the top. Reaching far down from the top. That would be deep. Okay. A docile, domesticated mammal with horns in males and wool. Okay. This is a docile, domesticated mammal with horns in males. The males have horns and wool. And so you would look up here, and that would be sheep. Okay. Another lesson that you have is write each word in the empty boxes. Study the list for your spelling test. So this is just practice writing of the spelling list, spelling words from lesson 1. But down here, it says choose words from the spelling list to complete each sentence. Okay. He dug a blank hole. He dug a blank hole. That would be he dug a deep hole. Okay. The blank was the only animal left on the farm. The sheep was the only animal left on the farm. Okay. When I got tired, I went to blank during the long road trip. When I got tired, I went to sleep during the long road trip. And so on and so on. So each lesson has several different pages, and you have this right here, which is more practice writing. This right here is using each word in a sentence in your own sentence. And then this right here is true or false. And you have your word list up here. A beep is a bird's mouth. That would be false. Okay. A Jeep is a small general purpose motor vehicle. That would be true. Keep means to give away. That would be false. So you have a number of different assignments in each lesson before it goes on to the next lesson. The last lesson of each lesson, okay, the last worksheet on each lesson would be the spelling word search. All of your words from lesson 1 are at the bottom here, and you have to find them within the word search. So they have a full week of lessons for the spelling word mastery for each lesson. So there's a number of lessons in here. There's other things at the back, other types of lessons. You have word ladders, okay, word and sentence ladders. You also have describing what you see, looking at a picture and being able to describe in your own words, okay. And also you have spelling and numbers, where the student has to match the number with the correct word, okay, basically drawing a line, okay. This right here is circling the correct spelling of a particular word, circling the correct spelling. And I believe that is it. No, we also have some acrostic poetry, okay. It's pretty much self-explanatory with acrostic poetry. What you're doing is you're taking a word such as, I'll use the example here, okay? An acrostic poem using the word sun. An acrostic poem is one where you choose a word or name and use each letter in the name as the beginning of a word or line that tells something about that person or topic. Okay, here we have sun. We're going to use that in an acrostic poem. Sometimes when we go to the beach, I will get sunburned. Usually, if I put sunblock on my skin, I will not burn. Noon is when I'm really prone to burning. You see? So you use the S, the U, and the N to start off the beginning of each sentence. Okay. Now, for our next book, this is for older students. We're dealing with junior high and high school on this one. Okay. In this mega book, students will learn how to master their vocabulary words with great confidence. They will learn the spelling, definition, proper use, proper pronunciation for each word, and so much more. With more than 100 pages, this workbook is power-packed with words that can challenge even adult minds. This workbook is designed for middle school through high school, but available to even younger students who enjoy a challenge. This is certainly an opportunity to learn within the pages. There is certainly an opportunity to learn within the pages of this amazing compilation of vocabulary words. The use of spelling, vocabulary, writing, right and left brain exercises, language arts, grammar, and more are a part of this amazing publication. So please enjoy. All right. And so this spelling book is a lot more advanced than the other. That one would be more for like second and third grade. This is for junior high and high school. Okay, again, it starts off with a word list and definitions. Okay. The first word is guileless, without deceit. Jurisprudence, a part or division of law. Epitome, a person or thing that shows typical qualities of something. And so then we go into the lessons. This gives you it says study the pronunciation of each word and write the number of syllables for each, okay? This gives you the syllables for each word, or the student has to break down the syllables. For instance, jurisprudence, okay? It gives you the pronunciation on the side right there, so you'll know how the word is pronounced, okay? Now the next thing is find the definitions for the spelling words listed above. Put the words on the lines next to the spelling or the correct definition. So the students will have to master the understanding of these words in order to complete these assignments. We're dealing with bigger words: advocate, impeccable, emissary, litigant, catalyst, curator, anatomist, charlatan, words that are more suited for older students or younger students who enjoy a challenge, okay? The students have to remember the definitions and write them on their own without any assistance. They also have to know the correct spelling for each word, and then they have to be able to use those words in their own sentence. And then, of course, there's a true and false and the word search again. These are for older students. And then writing an essay. That part is very interesting because the student has to use, it says, write a short essay using at least 5 of your spelling words from lesson 1. So the student has to be able to correctly use at least 5 of the words from their lessons in this particular book. Okay, now let me open up this box and see what we have. Again, these are all books that are a part of the 12 Tribes Network project that we are working on. And the reason I say we're working on, because we're not going to just stop at these. We're going to keep this thing going. We are going to keep this thing going because our children need materials that are reflective of them, our history, and learning from our perspective, and not always from a European perspective. It's like everything that we get seems to come from them, so we're trying to change that a bit by offering some of our own materials. I'm having a little trouble with this plastic here, so bear with me for one moment. The others were a lot easier to get into. Maybe I should have had a pair of scissors nearby. Okay, let me just grab this knife here just to tear this edge. And I'm almost finished. Okay. Now these books are available for review. As I stated in a previous video, I would like to have those who said they wanted to participate in this project to review the books before we make them available on a global market. Review is very good. Putting them together takes a lot of time, and having to review them too, sometimes my eyes may miss things, but it would be very helpful if those of you who wanted to participate in this project would help us to review these books. They are available for ordering for review purposes. Okay, this one is the Kiddie algebra. This one is so much fun. This one was inspired by my daughter Hannah. And there's 100 pages in this book. I've shared the testimony of how she was, when she was 6 years old, she was doing algebra, not just Kiddie algebra. She was doing middle school algebra. She said, "Mommy, this is too easy. Can I get something harder?" Okay. Algebra is number and word decoding. This one is designed for students ages 6 to 8. Okay? And if your younger children can handle it, in which I have given this to some of my younger children, they have been able to handle it, but we set the age for 6 to 8. And Kiddie algebra is so much fun. So much fun. These are some of the assignments, in which I've posted some before on Facebook. And then we get into this right here. Just different assignments that are very easy for parents. This is nothing to be alarmed at, because I know a lot of parents don't per se like algebra either. But trust me, the Kiddie algebra, anyone can handle it. It's very easy. Okay? All different kinds of worksheets in here. These things are designed to keep students busy. They have a lot of fun doing these. A lot of fun doing these. So I don't want anyone to feel intimidated by the term algebra. Okay? You're seeing other things in here too with reading material, and I'll explain what that is. Okay? Then we have the math number search. That is so much fun. The student has to first do the math problems below. Once they do the math problems and they get their answer, then they look for the answer up here. Okay? So they first have to do the math problem before they can find the answers up here. Okay? So let me explain some of the other stuff here. Like you have, we have the story of creation here. And then we have information about, what's that animal? A cheetah and then a hippopotamus. There's reading material there. But you have to decode these numbers in order to get the answers to the questions. Like, who created the heavens and earth? Okay, there's a coded answer there. And the student has to use this chart here to decode the answer. They can get it outright just from reading, but the fun part is actually decoding the answer, because all you have there are numbers. So they have to decode the numbers in order to get or reveal the answer. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to read what the definition of algebra is, so that you all can get an understanding of what is being taught in this book here. I'm so excited. I'm glad that we finally got our first ones in. I'm going to be reviewing them. And usually when I review them, I let my children use these as their workbooks. So if they run across something, like one time on the alphabet chart, all of the letters were next to each other. But on the W, because it was so much wider, it had spaced down under, and I didn't notice it. And so one of my little ones pointed out, they said, "Mommy, the W is under." And so what I had to do was shrink the font so that it looks side by side like the others with upper and lowercase. So it's things like that that we do for review. So if you have students already and you want to help us review these books, we would appreciate that, because we would like to make these available on a global market. As you see, we put a lot of time into designing them and putting them together, but we lack a team that could review these for us to make sure that we are putting out a product that's going to be top-notch. That's what our goal is. And again, it takes time and it takes help. You see, that's why we had a meeting some time ago where we were asking those who wanted to help to, just do what you can, fit in where you can. We understand that not everyone has the time to actually put the books together or what have you, but any help that can be provided is definitely appreciated. And so reviewing the books and looking for errors or anything like that, that would be a great help for us. Okay, now I'm going to read the definition of algebra. Okay, algebra is the part of mathematics in which letters and other symbols are used to represent numbers and quantities in formula and equations. Okay, so now I'm just going to do another quick review of the books that we have that are ready for review. These are books that are ready for review. Okay. Okay. I didn't open this one. I forgot that I actually ordered this one because what happened was, remember when I was reading the What Every Child Should Know for Preschool, Kindergarten, and First Grade? Well, I had already put in the orders for the books, and I realized that on the front cover that I didn't include the information about the Hebrew lessons in the book. And so if you notice, this one doesn't have that. Now I did put "and more," but I thought it would be better to actually put in there, okay, I added it in here on this one. This is the corrected book. So those of you ordering this book, this is what you will be receiving. I actually ordered these a day apart, okay? When I caught my mistake in not including the Hebrew information on the front cover, because I want those who order this book to know that that's going to be included in this 250-page book, okay? What every child should know for preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. The lessons include alphabets, numbers, colors and shapes, money identification, mathematics, directions, perception test, Hebrew alphabet, phonics, 12 tribes worksheets, Hebrew kinship words, spelling word families, simple punctuation and capitalization, telling time, and more. So there's a lot of information in this book, and I thought it would be a good idea to at least include that on the cover so that you would know what you're getting. Again, this is a 250-page book, okay? So just to hold all of them up, we have a lot of materials yet that we are going to be producing. These are the first 5 books for our Hebrew series. As a matter of fact, no, these are not the only 5. I will be right back. I'm sorry, family. Maybe I'll cut this part out of the video, or maybe I'll keep it. I forgot about this one. I forgot about this one right here. On the 7th day he rested. We showed this in another one of our videos, but I think it's important to include this one in this video because this one includes the story of creation, all kinds of lessons in this particular book. We showed it before. Brain teasers, antonyms, which are opposites, grammar, okay, dealing with adjectives. What else do we have in here? We have a little bit of Kiddie algebra in here as well, and we have math, we have writing, reading, all kinds of things in this book as well. So officially we have 6 books that we have all ready for review by those of you who need learning materials for your students that have Hebrew elements, okay? Not all of them have Hebrew elements such as the advanced math, counting money. At some point when we upgrade the book, we could add story problems that deal with that. Other than that, most of this is just counting money. But the story problems, I can see developing story problems that maybe we can add some Hebrew elements to that. But counting money and math, some of that stuff is just so basic that you just take it as it is. But here are the books in our lineup, and I think I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. I'm so excited to show these to the children. They've been anxiously awaiting these as well. As I said, we just print their worksheets out on our printer over there, but I think they enjoy having workbooks instead. The workbooks makes it more exciting for them, especially the real little ones. They like to have workbooks that they can tote around and call their own. Well, family, I thank you so very much for taking the time to look at this video. I hope some of you are interested in our materials. We put a lot of time and effort into these, and like I said, we want to put out a superior product for our families. We want everyone to have something that they can use to teach their children, those of you who homeschool or those of you who want to supplement public school. if your children are in public school or any other type of school, and you want to supplement, this is good for that as well. Or if you just want to have summer activities to keep their minds fresh on various things or various topics. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. I want to say I love you, family, and thank you in advance. Shalom.